Hello. Um, for 2 days this week, a number of different deliveries came in, and I was all going to do it in one video, because there's equipment and then there's antiquity stuff. I'm going to separate them, you know. So today we're going to have a look at new equipment that I bought to test and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to show you that. We're going to show you a new EMF detector. People like um, the K2. The reason why people like the K2 is because the lights and that. They don't use it a lot of the time. Let's face it, they don't use it for doing environmental readings because it's sort of the way it is. It's just lights and that. There's other EMF detectors that will give you more accurate readings, like the digital readout or an analog gauge that will give you a more accurate readout rather than the K2. But the K2 is a big. It's popular in paranormal investigating because it's sort of, you sit it there like a trigger object, and because you're in the dark or whatever, you got the lights, the yellow, orange, and red and stuff, and you can see it, and it catches your eye. But this EMF detector, it's got that, and it's got the digital readout, and a couple of other little tricks as well. So we're going to go on to eBay, and I'm going to show you where to get it, and show you the difference in the different prices, which is quite substantial actually. Okay, right, on previous videos I showed you that if you go into paranormal equipment, right, right, EMF meters paranormal, you actually get a limited supply. You're talking about the genuine K2 meter are £55.20. These here that are £29. These here can be got for between £13 and £17. Now, EMF also, under that category, you got your millimeter, you got your EMF bear, £45 for this. I paid £13. So they come out of there. You got the EDI, the new version, £350, extremely expensive. There you go again. These here are popping up on the market through the paranormal, with a very high price tag. Now let's go just EMF meters. EMF meters is not only used in the paranormal, it's used by electricians and such like. It's used by tradespeople. So as long as it doesn't say ghost hunting, that's grand. It's £11 for this. £20 through a British seller, which isn't too bad. It's a lot cheaper than going through the category of paranormal. EMF. There you go, £17.99. There is one particular one. There you go, £14. Up here, where the cursor is, £14.59. You get where I'm coming from. These are tri-field, the new type tri-field meters. They're expensive no matter where you get them. £18 for the Metatech. I have one of those. Here we go. Now, through a British seller, this one, of course they would have to put the 5G on it because everybody's talking about 5G, and it's just kind of a selling point in that. But this one is $59.99, and where we go. I'm just going to show you the pictures of it. Right, there it is. There it is. Right, we're going to go back and we'll try to find it cheaper. Here we go. Same thing from China. It's like same. That other seller probably got this in China anyway. So there we go. That's that particular. That's that EMF detector. I have the EMF detector actually here, and of course I bought it for the cheaper price. I'm not stupid, but you get where I'm coming from. Fish around. You want static meters? Go to static meters. You know, static meters are used by other tradespeople as well. Let me see. You know, big difference in £59.99, £60, you know, and the price that I showed you there, which was £16, 27 pence. Now there you go, £16, 19 pence. There you go, $49.99, $47.99. Sooner or later, these are going to end up on ghost hunting pages, and they're going to cost a fortune. There you go, $54.99. $55.20, genuine K2. K2s, it's a big thing with paranormal investigators and ghost hunters, and the reason for that is they don't necessarily anymore use them for you know, taking readings as such. It's because it can be used as a trigger object, and it's got the you know, the flashing lights. You know, can you bring it up to orange? Can you bring it up to yellow, red, the whole lot? And you can see it from a distance. You know, it's not used for accurate readings. And to be honest with you, at this stage, it's become pretty basic. There is that option that I just showed you, which you can take a reading. You know, you can take an accurate digital reading and have the lights at the same time. So, and this has another little trick, and it's simple, but very, very good. So I'm going to go over and show you the meter itself here. This is the actual meter, and it's simple enough to use. You got your on switch, you got your digital readout, you got your little light at the top, which some people like because it's you can read it from a distance. You got your micro Tesla, you got your I don't know what VM is. I'm not quite sure what that is. I did read the instructions, but I'm not quite sure what it is. You got your Milgauss readings. Up in the corner left here, you've got your temperature as well. and at the back of this you got a backlight, and not only do you have a backlight, you've got a little headlight here as well, and I'm just going to demonstrate for you now this working in the dark. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good feature. Along with that too, you got, which the K2 doesn't have, you got your little hot shoe mount here where you can put your little, you can put a little tripod. I actually have a couple of these from actually the pound shop. They're not the best of quality, but it does the job. But there you go. You know. Oh yes, and it also has sound. So you got this is your little where's the flipping magnet gone? This hasn't gone well. Hold on a sec. Right, the magnet got stuck on the back of the device actually, but you got all the sensors up there, and you got your little. So this is normal, the green, medium, which is over, what is it, 6 or 5 I think? It's, once it goes over 2 it goes into the orange actually, I think something like that. And it beeps like that. When it gets into the red, it speeds up. For the price, it's got a number of different things. You know, it's got your little light there when it turns on when you have this the back screen on, which is very important. Say if you're a paranormal investigator and you're doing things at night time, and you know, you've got the probes, the sensors in this part of it here. You've got the digital readout, so you can have a digital readout of measurements of milligauss and stuff. You got your temperature gauge, and you know, you got your temperature gauge, you got the sound, and you've got the little flashing light as well. So you know, that's you know, people that uses the K2 like it for the flashing lights. They can be on the other side of the room and they can see if there's you know, see if something is affecting the K2 meter from a distance. So that kind of works. The only downside to it is if it's sitting for any more than 10 minutes with no change of activity, it is going to knock off to save battery. That is the only downside to it. You know, other than that, the quality is actually pretty good. It's pretty robust. It's as robust as the Mel meter. It seems to be pretty solid and that, and it comes with a little bag and that, you know. So you know, you've got two choices: pay a lot of money or pay a little money and obviously go for the cheapest that you can. It is probably going to flood onto the paranormal market because it is a good product, but like static sensors or other things, the stuff that's used in paranormal research is often used in other trades. So, you know, when you're getting EMF meters, there is a range, there's a load of them out there that do a lot of tricky stuff. Don't restrict yourself to looking at pages that solely deal with just paranormal equipment, because you will miss out on some of these little gems, you know. So this possibly will go onto the ghost hunting market, and when it goes onto the ghost hunting market, the price will go up. But you know, when you're buying stuff like this, go straight to the source. Another thing is too, this is another little device. It is called a static detector. Now, static detectors are one of the simplest devices to manufacture. So, you know, a lot of paranormal investigators do a little bit of DIY. It essentially just is an LED light, connected to a diode or diode, and a power source, a battery. And, you know, they put it into a little fancy box and sell it for £30. When the actual components is less than $5 or £5 or whatever. This I picked up by searching for static meters, and it came in this little box. It's got a little bit of instructions in it. This one is a little bit different. This here was cost me £11. It hasn't got a hot shoe mount. It may have the space that I can screw them in, you know, a little hot shoe mount, so I can put it on a little tripod or whatever. It's simple. You turn it on. There's two reset buttons, 0 and 0 for the positive charge. So this device not only detects just general static, it can electricity is made up of positive and negative. You'll see those polarities on batteries and stuff. So you got positive polarity and negative polarity, and this little device actually will detect the static electricity and also tell you if it is a positive or negative charge. So there's a positive charge. I produced electricity by just rubbing the top of it there, and there is a negative charge just being picked up. And it's an okay product. So it's all right, like. For £11, you're not going to go. You're not going to go wrong. Up here, you've got a power light. That basically is a tiny little light. And actually, let's have a look inside. It already came with the batteries in it, so it did say in the instructions insert the batteries, but the batteries were already in them when I got it. I actually picked up 2 of these. I should have picked. Well, the reason why I didn't pick up any more is because I wanted to find out if they were any good. If they were any good before I actually went and bought more. So I just bought 2. One more. Right. you got these little plates that's going to hop out. Basically that is it. There's two 3.7 volt batteries that are in it. You know, these little coin sized batteries. Same sort of batteries that would be in the remote control of your car keys, and that is your coil that picks up the static electricity. You know, I'm not gonna fully pull it asunder, but by the looks of it, there is very limited components in there. There looks like there's some sort of a chip up here. Component there, and there. Possibly capacitors of some kind to store that static electricity to give out the reading. I don't know. It's not overly complicated, but you know, for £11 it's not bad, like, do you know, because you, as I say, you go on to paranormal equipment, you're going to find static detectors, and they're going to cost. Basically, most of the static detectors are made at home. They're made by people, and they put them into little project boxes, and they sell them for £30 or £40. And you know, I have purchased static detectors for £30 in the past, and when I open them up, I've seen how simple they are. I says I'm not going to go down that route again, because when I researched it, it cost less than £5 to make static detectors and that, you know. But yeah, for £11 you can have a number of these. You know, it's good to have. You don't often see people with static detectors and paranormal investigating. You see them more with concentrating on EMF and REM, you know, disturbance in EMF fields and stuff like that. But that's two of the products. This other one, I can't talk too much about it because I have to learn more about it, but basically it has got two plates on the back of it here, and this is for static and surface resistance meter. This here is for earthing, and it does detect static on physical objects. You know, so, you know, I have items here in the house, and if I wanted to make measurements of static build up on those objects, I put the prongs of it. I can't go too much into this one because it is something that I still have to learn a little bit more about before I can talk about it. Just to add, this is called Fuyi, FY. The spelling is FUYI, FY876 EMF tester, electromagnetic field. So the name of the product is Fuyi, and it has got some sort of foreign language pronunciation on the top of it, but that's the little brand name. This, as far as I know, has got a single axis. It's not tri-field. Tri-field is 3-axis. This is a single axis, as far as I know, similar to the K2 and the Ghost Meter and Ghost Meter Pro. The only tri-field meter that I actually have is this model 100XE. Which has got a sensor on the top and sensors on each side. So you got three sensors of field, and that's why this is called a tri-field meter. But that is basically it. Oh, and single axis meters are generally less expensive than tri-field meters. Tri-field meters, you're going to pay a little bit more. Products like this are actually very difficult to find now. These Ghost Meters and Ghost Meter Pros, they sort of, I don't know if they still make these, but good luck trying to find them. It's a good meter, but very, very poor quality construction. If you drop one of these, you are going to break it. But that is basically your little, and you got your little flashing light on the top. This one has got a number of different modes. It's got for detecting old ghosts, recent ghosts, and you got a dialogue mode. None of them modes interest me one bit. They call it a ghost meter, a meter for detecting ghosts, which is a little bit fishy. But the EMF detector in this is pretty good, and as you can see, it's got an analog on it as well. But poor quality construction, but a very good meter. And don't drop it. That's the thing about those. But that is basically it. I think in a future video we will go and have a look at some of the antiques, including a creepy picture which keeps. It's a creepy picture of a little girl sort of standing in the dark, and she's just right over there, and no matter where you sit in the room, she's staring at you. It's quite disturbing, actually. I don't know why people buy these kind of pictures to make their house look. People buy pictures to make them house look nice and have this kind of an atmosphere. I don't know what kind of an atmosphere you would get from a painting like this. It's certainly quite strange and stuff, and sort of why I bought it. But for some reason, the 1970s has come up with an awful lot of creepy pictures. I don't know. But anyway, that it will be in a future video. I will see you in the next one, folks.